Welcome back. Yes, he's not entirely this morning. We've got Dr. Agunloye here with us. He's the Chairman, Contact and Mobilization of Alliance for the Defense of Democracy, ADD. Remember, he's a former Minister of Power and Steel and former Minister of State for Defense, that's the Navy. Thank you for coming on this morning, sir. Good to see you. Well, about this ADD, Alliance for Defense of Democracy, what is this about? Because this is a newly formed group, isn't it?
Thank you very much and good morning. I need to say that this is not a political party.
Okay.
This is about having been beaten about the bush for such a long time. We knew that a new order must come up. And things are getting worse and worse every day, and we think something must come into it. The idea of alliance or the idea of coalition, the idea of merger had been on for several years. I have been taking part in meetings on coalition for at least 2 years. And we are beginning to see the differences between coalitions and alliances. In fact, to be honest, initially alliance was ruled out because it's a loose way of cooperating. Everybody is in his own room and he can put an alliance with the others. But we have found out that an alliance may be the best way to handle the situation in Nigeria. So different groups came together, and this be spearheaded by the Nigerian Intervention Movement, as well as the social society, to now come what they call Alliance for Defense of Democracy. The issue is that whether we are talking about party or what the party will do, it is all about democracy. It's all about gathering the powers from the different people who give you the power, and you take the power in trust to, in turn, give them dividends of democracy. So if you wanted to win an election, it's about democracy. Yeah. And then we see on a daily basis, in the recent times, for instance, the issue of the Chief Judge of Nigeria, and we think that there is an attack on democracy.
But before you go on to that one, so let me just ask you this, because, I mean, when you say this is not a political party, you want to see how you could bring groups in to stop what's not going right in the country. But we also do remember that NIM, the integration, the movement, at the point when they had to meet up with some of the political parties, they couldn't, just as NIM, they had to be a political party aspect of which was PT, which then they have a candidate going for elections now. Now, they're also part of or headed by NIM, that's this particular group. So doesn't it come across as if groups don't know exactly what they want moving forward?
You know that there's some famous saying in Nigeria, you cannot be doing the same thing over and over and expect to get the same result, I mean different results. You are very correct. NIM had issues, and if you look at the whole concept of the third force, the whole concept of the alternative platform, they haven't been handled properly at all, okay? And then NIM didn't have enough time to do so, and NIM at one time got confused whether it would be NIM party or whether it will have an alliance or transform and so on. But we are beginning to see how this had been. We are beginning to see the failure in the politics. Take for instance, I have been told and I have seen several times that we are now faced with the deep blue sea and the devil, okay? It's the most insulting thing that I've ever made. It's very, I feel very repulsive, very repulsive. How do you place before any human being two devils? And you say you have to select between A and B. How do you call people come and eat? And you say, oh, you can eat the food that dropped on the floor or the one in the dustbin.
Yeah, but that's left for the Nigerian people to.
Pardon?
That's left for the Nigerian people to decide if the devils
No,
are placed
I am
before
saying
them.
that.
But my question to you is, I'm not really sure of what ADD stands to achieve.
That is where we're going.
Are you an offshoot of NIM?
That's where we're going. ADD is, again, I don't want to use the word umbrella.
Well, you have to use the appropriate word that this defines
Well,
your objective.
It's basically an offshoot of the NIM.
You must use umbrella now as it is defined.
And you must sweep the floor if it's dirty.
As it's defined in the dictionary. Okay? But the point I'm saying is this. Let's see where we're coming from. We got to a point where you take between devil 1 or devil 2. This is what they all say. In fact, I was astonished. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo also said the same thing.
Oh, you're referring to the political parties now?
Well, I think so, yes. Okay? So...
Because I just want to be specific. Are you referring to the PDP and APC?
Pardon?
Are you referring to the PDP and APC?
Well, I think that is what they refer to as selecting between the deep blue sea and the devil.
Oh.
That is what they are probably talking about, the devil you know and the devil you don't know. All these ones are not my definition, are not my analysis. There are things on the outside there, okay? Then, of course, when you see the parties themselves, they only abuse themselves. But this is showing you that something else is required. A new order is required.
But this new order cannot take footing.
An alternative
new order,
is required.
The alternative, yes. I mean, it's not the first time it's been agreed.
And
when
the
NIM came,
and
when the Obasanjo's coalition also came through, that was agreed, yes. But you come in now, and you seem to sound as you're an offshoot of NIM. Are you going to make any difference, any meaningful impact? Because we're just 2 weeks to the elections.
Oh, no. The election of 16th of February is not the object. Okay? It's not the object. But some things have to be done from now. And this was more precipitated, the idea of ADD was precipitated because of the CJN issue. Because before our very eyes, we are seeing a situation where they want to judge the CJN before the court judges him, okay? But we are aware that the process of his removal did not follow due process. The process of the replacement also did not follow due process. And it is at the heart of democracy because we earn the democratic system and process to select another person. And if we do all of this wrongly, then it's very likely that the result too will be double wrong, okay? So some people must come up and say, let's give a voice to this, that this is not correct. That is how ADD came up. But ADD's long-term objective is a new order, okay? And that's why I said that it is not a political party, it's just an alliance of few people, including political parties, civil societies, and other people who believe that they are committed to defending democracy.
When you say a new order, in what context? Is it that you're going to define the Nigerian dream and whichever political party is in power to drive the process follows the particular dream? What exactly do you mean by a new order? The alternative.
Alternative.
Alternative political party?
Alternative way of running government, alternative party for people to select from. So they are not having to select between the deep blue sea and the devil.
No, apparently this is also going in a particular direction that someone will say, okay, we have 91 alternatives already and all of that. What's going to make this any different going forward? We have had alliances for many years. As a matter of fact, the SDP NRC of 1993 was a function of some form of permutative alliances that created by the military. The arrangements by the Abacha government were also something similar. Even now, we have had a situation where some political parties have aligned, coalesced, merged to become one thing or another. What makes this different? And when indeed are people going to have options that are credible?
First, the need for a new order stems from what you have said. All these other permutations and so on have failed. And if you ask me, proof that it has failed, I say they say select between the blue sea and the devil. Okay? Obasanjo himself said, this one we do twice as better as this one. It makes no sense because economic growth is 1.5%, population growth is 2.6%. So you need to do more than 2 times what is there now to make those corrections.
But already now, sir, we have more than 70 alternatives on the ballot.
On
the ballot paper of February 16 election, we have more than 70 options already. How do we throw them up? Or are you saying that none of those are options?
First, in the ADD, we are advising them, okay? We are advising the 68 political parties, okay, that they should form something like a confederation of, okay, first, you know that of the 68, they are into 2 groups. Groups that are surrogates of APC and PDP that were formed by them. Those that are also formed by themselves, hoping to trade agents, trade observers, trade their cards and so on. So that is group 1. They are surrogates of PDP and APC. But there are at least maybe a dozen others that stand by themselves. SDP, which I belong to, is one of that, okay? We are saying that let these 8 or 12 political parties come together under a confederation.
Are they listening to you?
It's up to them. We will tell them. And that stepping down for each other is not a priority. You may. Some already stepping down for the other one. So they can have at least one distinct one. So, which means that in this election, they will have a distinct one. But even if they don't have a distinct one, the body of 8-12, okay, will be an alliance so that we look at their results. Hoping that in the next 4 years, we will be able to let them know how to do the correct thing. We didn't do the correct thing to get to where we are.